Destination reached. Scylla. Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? I request you do not wake me if I am sleeping upon your return. I think I'll initiate an unscheduled rest cycle while you're out.
Так.
Scylla. No laws, no lines, and a whole lot of guns. I love this place.
Can't walk 5 meters without stubbing your toe in a loose rock here.
Чё? Натыкаешься? Да, парни, в офиге. Дебилы. О, как. Так, там вот мясо у меня, по-моему, до хренища. Где оно? О, крутяк. Так, что значит погрузчик, говорите?
Outlaws. Demand?
Here we go.
Где будете?
Okay.
Who would like to die first? The strong survive and the weak perish.
Блять. Я тебе в сраку попал. Так, викария завалили.
Few of these are sublight. Guess Lilia was trying to expand.
Can't say I'll be mourning them personally.
Что там за шлем? Что это за шлем? Чё себе какая хрень? Ах ты же ёшкин.
You won't get any mercy from me. past that armor. Got a fight on our hands. Get past that armor. Right in.
Ай, ну ладно, живи. Пока. Все равно до тебя доберусь. Ах ты же ё. Нет, спасибо. Не надо мне такое. Блин, я думал, это ящик.
Incoming. That's the last of them.
Что началось? Кто здесь? Че-то вы на крыс так среагировали. Ну вот и все. Так, блять, опять пёзнусь. Надо как-то поаккуратнее спускаться. Блять. Не, ничего нет. Я что, застрял? Не хотелось бы. Блять. Суки страшные.
Here we go.
I'll take your confession now.
На тебе. Воу-воу-воу. Что здесь ты что? Ёшкин, блядь. Блядь. Все, хана. Так. Угу. Это еще до того, как я туда вот поднимался.
They got the drop on us.
Бейте их, ребята.
Our skills are unrivaled.
Нахуй. Загнеметили. Так. Так. Тут не было ящичков. Значит, не было. Ой, в жопу. Уперся. Много всего хорошего вам добра. Так, не буду прыгать, тоже пёзнусь. Так, эти ребята где-то там тусят, да, значит?
I've had quite enough of you.
My God.
Так, я полагаю, он закопался ж, да? Ой, еще и роботы пришли. Ёшкин крот! Блять, беги, 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 беги. Ух. Не, а у него до хрена чего было. А ни хрена, он тут, короче, сразу раскидал на дроботека всех. Вот так-то, сраные бандиты.
Life signs abnormal. Administering stimulant. Detecting above average calcium levels.
Охренеть, что 75 вскрытия надо? Так, а у меня 61, да? Ну, до 75, блять, не дотянет. В смысле, почему у меня 34, если у меня, блять, 41, 44 у меня? Что здесь не так?
Someone has been keeping up with the exercise.
Полагаю, здесь второй этаж, на него надо как-то залезть. Хотя там вроде ничего не видать.
What a cozy little mining outpost. Deserted, but quaint.
Place never even had a bar. No wonder it's abandoned.
Ах ты ж.
I'll take your confession now!
Ух. Так. Ой, я, кстати, вон туда же не залазил, по-моему. А, ну потому что туда и не залезть. Радужки. Толком ничего и нету.
Die first.
Блин, они сразу побежали. Я тут так издалека напугать маленько просто.
Here's a little trick I learned in prison.
Ты куда отлетел-то?
May the law have mercy on you. I won't.
На тебе. Башка улетела. Ништяк. Я его вообще расхреначил в клочья просто. Хрена у него. Много скушал. Так, вход, я так полагаю, не здесь, да? Вот же он. Так, подожди, вот. Получается 40 замок, а у меня 45. Так, блять, там... Что там не так?
Real slick.
Звуки какие-то очень страшные происходят. Так, куда я ходил? Сюда я ходил. Опа, лесенка, да? Нет, не лесенка. Сейчас. Момент.
We got time.
поспать до приличия. Угу. Переместитель. Что за переместитель? Сейчас узнаем. Ой. Как мы тут трубы потекли. Так, что за хренотень? Так. Запечатано. Но попасть туда, значит, можно. Иначе бы двери бы попросту не было. Значит, ищем обходной путь через... Прошу. Че, херушки? Херушки. Стыдно. И чё? Если я очень туда хочу попасть. Не пускает. Так, что тут? Никого не видать. Вообще где-то там роботы должны ходить. Парочка. Которых я издалека мочил. Залазь. Вот твою. Так, ну здесь были эти странные первобытные, они, наверное, отсюда уже ушли. Уже всей толпой же на меня побежали. Вообще надо, кстати, попытаться будет уменьшить кого-нибудь, посмотреть. Сильно-то помогает в бою, нет? То есть мои парняги справятся с уменьшенным чуваком. Я вон что.
This is a monument to man's intelligence and strength.
There's no credible research on the health effects of standing directly under a terraformer, Captain. In case you were wondering.
Ну да, интересно. Насколько близко можно подойти? Так, ну сохранюсь на всякий случай. И подойду туда. Перезаписать, конечно, перезаписать. А, он попросту не пускает. Ай, ну и бьет, конечно. Ой, кто здесь? Так, вот этот сраный гигант, да? Значит, надо его уменьшить.
Never anger
Бей
a
его.
man of the claw.
Not bad, huh? Dead on.
Сука. Бейте его, бейте парня.
Nice one.
Слушай, ну помогает. Ну окей. Опа. Ну, ништяк. Вообще можно не париться насчет веса. Слушай, ну быстро они гиганта замочили, так что, в принципе, мешать-то можно вполне.
Here we go. I smite you in the name of the law.
I got her! Just like that.
Бей его.
A fine hit, Captain.
Лихо. Так, где-то здесь были автоматоны же. Он ходит.
Did I say something? Take your best shot, asshole!
Sometimes violence is the only way.
Anyone else?
Don't they go?
Блять. Завалил. Ох ты ж, сука. Жопошники.
have to shoot me down if you wanted an autograph.
Shut up now, and you might get out of this alive. Can we hurry this up? I want that ship gutted before the primals find us.
The strong survive and the weak perish. Get away from me!
Ах ты, сука.
I got another fighting me.
Multiple fractures, lacerations, and untreated burns detected. Signs indicative of sudden, violent crash landing.
Yep, that's me. No big deal. Just shrugging off my injuries as I stroll away from another flaming impact crater.
Also detecting constipation, hair loss, Reduced fertility due to tight trousers. Recommend stimulant injection.
Hell, you take that back.
Ну, это что запор, все верно. А их действительно. Ничего полезного не видать на горизонте. Ты же автоматон медик, можешь меня починить? Я, может, не хочет.
Tremendous work, friend. Here I was readying a daring maneuver, and you've come and saved me the trouble.
Yeah.
Why does that sound familiar?
It's Ellie. Excellent timing. Hello, Ellie. What a pleasure it is to see your sparkling beauty in this barren waste.
It's Dr. Fenhill. I certainly know his ex-crew. Mostly from the operating table. I've probably seen more of them than he has.
How cruel you are. I distinctly remember a special party at the Lost Hope Bar on Groundbreaker where we...
We did not.
Oh, fine. But we almost...
Keep
Да,
going, and
почти.
you're gonna see how good this automech is at picking up teeth.
Symptoms detected. Elevated heart rate. Dilated pupils. Increased sweat production. Subject appears to be terrified.
I'm not terrified, you bucket of bolts. That's victory sweat. Meds, I'm guessing. Pirates love bits, and unlabeled meds are worth a bundle.
Так. Точно, у меня же, по-моему, джойстик точно сел. Ёшки, я сижу. Не следую. Заменить.
Supposed to be for the Groundbreaker, but getting shot tends to hinder one's delivery plans. Hey, who are you calling bootleg? I'll have you know, these are 100% genuine stolen drugs.
Да. Зато настоящий.
Because the board, in all their herpetological wisdom, will only sell the meds at a huge markup. Groundbreaker knows better than to pay board prices. Not when they've got me running for them. More importantly, they can't afford to. Not a damned one. I'm a free man. There isn't a corporate snake that can hold down the inimitable Captain Irion. The one and only. Wait, who's asking? Wanda didn't send you, did she? I wager she told you to say that, the sly old bird. I swear, land on Groundbreaker even a moment tardy, and that busybody's already been up your ass an hour. You tell her these automechs are coming, and sending a hired stooge to rescue me from certain peril only furthers my delay. No offense. Yes, well, I shan't. Give Wanda my chilliest regards. And farewell to you, dear Dr. Fenhill. I trust I'll see you next I find myself on the Groundbreaker.
You'd better hope not.
Повелась.
Nice and easy.
Ну все, тут в принципе-то делать нечего. Вроде более-менее интересных объектов никаких больше нету. Блять!
Here's a little trick I learned in prison.
Just like that.
Get past that armor.
Ёшкин крот! Ух! Ну, блять. Так нелепо. Быть прибитым камнем. Это же вообще постыдная смерть. Так. Раунд 2.
I smite you in the name of the law.
Бейте его скорей. Блять. Он их завалил. Сука.
you're a man of the cloth.
Nice one! My kind of...
Блин, опять всех погубил. Что за вот ты такой? Блять, неубиваемый вообще.
Here's a little trick I learned in prison.
Упс. Ёб твою налево. Получил. Блин. Ну что-то он мне прям проблем-то доставил. Сейчас момент. Жук за добавочкой.
So what's the plan?
Блин. Тут думал, джойстик сел. Оказывается, давай. Наушнички одна ячейка села. Бедный бандит, как ты тут без ног-то жил? Худо, наверное, жил.
Here we go!
May the law have mercy on you.
Bad, huh?
I won't.
А, вот.
Captain, if you're looking for crew members Ellie or Felix, they're sharing a drink upstairs.
Ну-ка, почему без меня?
So then I says, fine, I'll pay you back for all of it, with interest.
Nice one. You must have had him quaking on their heels.
Мало что они пьют, они еще и
I mean, I
курят через
wasn't
член.
really gonna do it. I just wanted to
Мощно
make
вообще.
him feel bad.
Pay you back with interest. I gotta remember that one.
Would have felt better if it had worked.
Ты бы хоть шлем снял.
Good to see you, boss.
Something on your mind?
Где порвать? Вот Викарий, вот он вообще молодец, он всегда на своем месте сидит. А эти, блин, что-то шляются хер пойми где. Это все чистит. Горшки не будет засела, нет? Нет. А, она вон отдыхает.
Felix keeps asking me to watch some adventure serial with him. It's not my thing, but he's real sweet about it. Oh, you mean Sam? He's just the sweetest, ain't he? A real charmer, my dad'd say. You should try talking to him. You'll see. He's a hoot.
Ну да, тот еще хохмач. Так, что у нас? Силен-то ничего же не набрал такого, да? Ну вот, на трансляция погнали.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? Certainly, Captain. What would you like to hear? How often do I make jokes about chemistry? Periodically. As you wish, Captain. I must comply with all direct orders. Certainly, Captain.
Блять.
As you wish, Captain. I must comply with all direct orders. Mm-hmm. I have received a transmission from Roseway, from a Dr. Shaw. Welcome back, Captain. I have received a transmission from Roseway, from a Dr. Shaw. Beginning playback now.
What? Oh, is this on? Oh, it's on right now. Oh, blast. Hello? I'm trying to reach the captain of the Unreliable. I'll keep this short, lest I get caught. Please return to Roseway as soon as you can. I have an item of great value that you'll be interested in. Now, how does this blasted thing turn off? Damn engineers never label these toggles clearly. Is it the...
The transmission is complete, Captain. Goodbye.
Ладно. Тут дело закончу, туда сгоняю.
It's a touch different from the ones I've seen. Shouldn't be so hard to get it patched up, though.
This is unmanned station, right?
Ну все, считаем, сейчас на зарядке буду стоять. И опасности не предоставит. Угу. Блять, задел. А, это обходной путь, короче, через роботов. Если их не отключить. Ну все, затаился. О, тут еще и здоровый тоже. А, он просто уборщик с метелочкой.
Orders, Captain.
Прям надо взрывчатки. Эй, ё! Ух, чуть не упал.
Gosh. He's dead, ain't he?
Smells like old blood.
Ну все дела сделаны.
I am a dirty, autonomous digital astrogator, Sam. I haven't cleaned my internals in ages. Can you hardly process the sheer quantity of dust buildup in there? Tell me you've seen worse. We'll continue this later.
Every SAM unit comes lean, mean, and ready to clean.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? Take care. I require a functioning captain to run the ship.
Так, надо вот на Терру вернуться.
We're now in orbit above Roseway, Captain.
Organic materials detected on roadway. Please ensure mechanisms are free of predators.
Интересно, что там этот мужичок хочет. Так, а где он живет? Так, у меня здесь Антон. Йо!
Ah, I remember you. You must have received my wireless. Thank the law. I went to great risk to send that. Aha! I knew that it'd entice you to return to our dangerously unprofitable township. I asked you here because I have a working prototype of the Altinature, Auntie Cleo's very first weapon. I'd like you to have it before it gets confiscated. The schematics you fetched for me lent themselves well to the creation of the beauty you now possess. Unfortunately, Auntie Cleo R&D felt otherwise. The market's already saturated, they said. Weapons are everywhere. They aren't interested in mass-producing the Altinature, which makes this an illegal prototype weapon. Given your unlawful proclivities, I thought it'd be safest with you. So here we are. I'd rather see it in the hands of a free agent than destroyed.
Удачи.
I've had quite enough of you! Nice hit!
Nice one!
Well done. We're still alive.
О, ты туда.
If you stop in the engine room, would you ask Parvati to send Sam down to the bridge? We've arrived at the groundbreaker.
Ту-ту-ту-ту-ту-ту.
My comm center already got an update ping from the backup relay. I trust everything went smoothly. Thanks. That's odd. The only messages in the queue are encrypted ones. Looking at the transmission logs, the relay hasn't received a single unencrypted message in the past 36 months. Must be on account of some new security red tape. Well, whatever's the cause, the board and the Earth Minister will see it sorted. Thanks again for saving my derriere. I secured quite the payment authorization for you from Chief Junlei. Try not to spend it all in one place. Routing through the backup relay has saved us a mess of trouble. Thanks to you, the auxiliary will handle the signal load when the primary's caught in the occlusion.
Ну окей, мы молодцы.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for introducing me to the capture of mortar terrorists video. Rizzo's not fixing up top of box.
Так. Что-то я думаю, что, по-моему, здесь надо было сделать еще.
Were I a gambling woman, I'd wager you're responsible for my mechanical safe return. I can't thank you enough.
Как благодарить? Денежки давайте. И опыту побольше. Так, теперь что-то хер поймет, что. Вот у кого можно это купить? Эй, блядь. Ногами цепанулся за решетку.
I believe I hear Felix and Parvati discussing the latest Aetherwave serial.
Okay. So I was watching this program. You know Princess of Hephaestus? That late show about the freedom fighter with a pure heart and a mean right hook? She finally kissed her sweetheart, Miss Pivko.
Wow, are you serious? I gotta
Copy that.
Something on your mind?
Like what I did with the place.
Ходит, все чистит. Хоба. Юху. А, нет, думал, ногу сломает. Не сломал. Так.
We're now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain.
А сейчас вышла. Так, Starbury, надо
Remember
чё?
that you are not insured.
Надо взять, ну, викария точно. Так. Ну, так всех и оставить, собственно. Что-то я получил такое. Причем ни с того ни с сего. Добраться до Stellar Bay. Началочку получил. Никто же не палит вроде. Никто. Можно свободно тырить. Блять. Так. А, ну да, это же погрузчик. Угу, нет, какой-то хмыренок уже поджидает стоит. Чё? Какая регистрация? Ты о чем?
Don't think I've seen you around. That means you must be new to Stellar Bay. You are new here, right? I knew it. See, I made what you'd call a logical deduction. You must have seen those UDL gunships on your way in. There's only 3 of them these days. Still, they tend to scare folk off. Wish more folk could say that. Gets awful quiet guarding a landing pad that never gets used. You may not have heard, you being new, but Stellar Bay hardly ever gets off-world traffic. Us being cut off by the board and all. Which means I never get to do this part, but I've been practicing, so here goes. On behalf of Monarch Stellar Industries, welcome to Stellar Bay, home of the freshest sal tuna in Halcyon. Please state your name for the records. Aw, don't be like that. I never get to do this part. Please.
No ладно.
Swell. There's one for the logs. I'm even gonna give you your own entry code. I'm not supposed to do that. It's against procedure, but Mr. Sanjar isn't so strict about the rules here. Besides, I got a lot of empty entries to fill. We don't get ship traffic in town. Only off-worlders who do make it out here are sublight. They got a base in Fallbrook. And thank the stars for them, or we would have run out of Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch years ago. Oh, that'll just make Mr. Sanjar's day if you tell him. The board makes up lots of nasty stories about raptidons and cannibals and whatnot. But that's all outside our walls. Mostly. Oh, sure. They make Stellar Bay sound like a rotten place, but it's not so bad. Get a good breeze going, and the sulfur smell mostly covers up the fishy smell.
Ah, the nostalgic stench of home. Can't say I miss the day-to-day of living in Edgewater.
Anyway, Mr. Sanjar's got lots to say on that subject. Kinda goes over my head, though. Mr. Sanjar will be mighty pleased to meet you. If you see him over at headquarters, maybe you could tell him I did a bang-up job of welcoming you?
Окей, так скажу, какой молодец
And if you're
стоит.
headed that way, maybe you could do me a favor? I got this Rizzo's Rangers Tossball poster coming in on the next sublight shipment, signed by the Black Hole himself. Only I haven't heard anything in a while. You think you could check with Celia to see if it's come in?
На главпочтам что ли сходить?
I couldn't really say, I'm just a fan of the game. But the fancy collector types say the more people see these things, the less valuable they are. And I figure my poster's been passed around by more than a few people by now. That's Bertie Holcomb, only one of the greatest tossball hackers ever.
I wonder if he's kin. Dad had family that worked for Rizzo's. I never got to meet them.
Everyone's heard of him, even on Monarch. We still get some of the games. You been living in a sulfur pit or something?
Типа того.
Oh, you're real funny. Guess I don't feel so bad for missing what goes on in the rest of Stellar Bay. Thanks a bunch. Celia works for Mr. Sanjar in the MSI building next to the bar. She's always there, so you can't miss her.
О! А уже стоит, уже никого нету, да? А, нет, вон. Кто-то сидит. Ну, блядь, меня же не увидит. Ну-ка. Сейчас мы тебя обчистим. И ничего толкового. Ну, я... Риск не оправдан. О, плазменная установка. Ничего, порвать, по-моему, нормальная пушка все-таки. А викарий вообще огнемет, так что все шикос. Так, тут что-то должно быть. И как сюда попасть? Наверное, потом зайти где-то здесь, да? Ачивочка, ненужный хлам. Чё? Так, мало мяса. Я, по-моему, собирал и пару штук все. Во-во-во, что это за... Тормозята какие-то подоспели. Ого. Что это ему член у него светится, что ли? Зачем это сделал?
Watch your step if you venture outside the walls.
Торговец. А, я открыл его торговец, я.
Yeah.
We're here, light years from Earth, going about our lives.
Every time the punch
Чего мне
clock
здесь не
peals,
хватает, так
the
это
worker
яхты.
earns his meals.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, I thought you were quoting It's a Wonderful Directorate.
Люди-ка чё? Раздельный туалет у них тут.
Got any news from the rest of Halcyon?
Well, well. Isn't often we see new folk in Stellar Bay. First drink's on me, stranger.
Ну, давай.
Enjoy. If you plan on sitting through Nyoka's stories, you might could use a few.
I could use a few and telling them myself.
Now what can I do for you? Anyone who spends any amount of time in this bar is bound to get to know Nyoka, on account of her being here so often herself. And I don't mean that unkindly. Anyone who's rid us of as many beasts as you have is entitled to a few drinks. Something else I can do for you? Not since Amber Heights. These days we have more leaving than coming. Off to join the Iconoclasts or some such. But it had a fancy ring to it. Name's the first advertising anyone sees, after all.
Но оно вообще действительно звучит, блять.
Nope. But a man can dream.
А что у него может быть? Хавка. Хлам я весь продал. Сбацаем что-нибудь.
You don't look like Sublight. Must be freelance.
You don't look like Sublight.
А с чего взяли, что я субсета?
New face, huh? You from Offworld? A ship captain? Well, I'll be. Here, let me buy you a drink. Consider it an MSI welcome.
Все бухом заваливает. Хороший
Sit a spell
местечко.
and revel with us.
By the smell, he's been reveling enough for you both already.
Ну.
Me and my friends have taken our destiny into our own hands. We're untethered, free of responsibility and worldly cares. Well, as long as we don't run out of bits. But until the windfall's gone, we're riding high. See, we just walked out on our work. Had enough, we did. So now we're striking. I don't see how. When Sanjar took over MSI, he tossed all the old corporate rules. We ain't required no more to work whatever job the company demands. Our supervisor Velma goes on and on about quarterly profits and meeting quotas. But that ain't what Sanjar promised us. Velma refuses to negotiate, so we're refusing to work. We won't go back until she agrees to pay us fair and proper. Us on Monarch. We're free from the board, you know? We have the right to lobby for better hours and pay. I wouldn't doubt it. You look like the type who tends to come out on top. Not like us cogs, trying to be the squeaky wheel, but just getting deadlocked. It's been days, but Velma won't even hear us out. Maybe you could just make her listen to our demands. You would do that? We sure are lucky you decided to come up to the patio today. I knew drinking up here would be good for more than the view. Sure thing. What did you want to discuss? Not forever, but we've each saved up our bits, and I stashed them safe in my home by the diner. I reckon we could last a week or two at least.
Так, ложь 55, да? Ложь 55. У меня, по-моему, там что-то было. Как было? Блин, точно, я же, по-моему, на корабле у меня остался тот шарик. Блин. Как избавиться от сраной паранойи?
Why don't you grab a chair, sit a spell, and revel with it? Sure thing. If I knew that, I'd have tried it. Talking reasonably got me nowhere. Maybe you'll fare better. The others wanted to blackmail her, but we're above that. Besides, them are just rumors. We got no proof they're true. I would never endorse such an untoward tactic, you know, but, well, there's rumors that Velma's taking a cut off the profits. So far, it's just gossip, you know, but if there was any proof to be had, it'd be in the Saltuna warehouse, I reckon.
Anything you'd like to discuss?
Вообще-то нет.
Бакуну.
Я с тобой обо всем этом уже говорил. Галеб и его трудолюбивые друзья. Ну прям вообще. Трудолюбивцы хреново.
And the little bastard's
Ать,
slippery,
бутылка
right?
такая.
On account of its
Высунула.
blood, so it's sliding all over the place, trying to crawl away, getting so I can't tell the blood from the mud. Don't interrupt, it's rude. But I gotta get in there, get right in that baby rap's stomach and dig it out. If so much as a drop of stomach acid got on that medallion, shit, I don't know what I'd do. Might be I'd hunt every damn rapt out there. Right. What are you staring? Wait. You ain't from around here. Who are you? If you think this is drunk, I gotta... you need to get out more. Sit. Partake. Buy me a drink and let's chat.
Давай, вечеринку закатим.
Outstanding. What are you doing in Stellar Bay, stranger? Oof. Some hell you've chosen. You must really love fish.
Да, у них на монархе же, по-моему, добивают этого кизунца.
That is a fucking shame. Well. Let's get down to brass nuts then, shall we? Wait, that ain't it. Brass rats? Let's talk business. I'm headed back out there after I sober up. You want a guide sooner than that? You have to get me something to clear my head. Outstanding! Our dispensary here maintains a stock of, well, I don't rightly know what they are. Steroid or caffeine somethings? Pills. They're very good. I'm cut off for the month, on account of needing one just about every damn day. But I'm sure you've got your wily ways. Fetch me one and we'll be all set. Well, they work. We got a deal or what?
Так у меня же наверняка они есть у меня.
You're back. Good news? Bad news? All of the above?
I wonder sometimes what they're doing on other colonies.
Huh?
Think they're watching the same serials, following the same tossball games?
Mm-hmm.
You're not listening to a word, are you?
Look, my back aches and everything smells like fish. I just want to enjoy
Конструктивный
my beer.
разговор такой. Ага.
Laws. Can a man enjoy the smooth menthol flavor of a Stogie Slim in peace?
Да, пожалуйста, наслаждайся.
What I am doing, ma'am, is enjoying the moment. It's so rare that I can seize one apart from the jabbering masses of this wretched place. This law's forgotten town. Cut off from the rest of the colony. Removed from any culture. I recall when Stellar Bay was a proper board-affiliated town with regular shipments of Auntie Cleo's best and all the cereals. Before Sanjar took over MSI and got us all booted. Days of consumption and culture. When we weren't squabbling with the iconoclasts for lack of better things to do. Look, you're making me melancholy. Is there something you wanted?
Так, так.
Wrapped musk and canid eyes, right here. Hello, stranger. Can I interest you in raptidon tongue? Or maybe some canid toenails? You look like a woman who's looking for some mostly fresh animal parts. I don't know. Celia usually buys whatever I have, and Mr. Pickett seemed real interested. So I thought maybe I was onto something.
Mr. Pickett? Franklin Pickett from Edgewater?
That's him. He'd been here years, but he always talked about going back to Edgewater one day.
Sure. Mr. Pickett used to run the community center outside Edgewater. He had this grand idea to make it a museum for halcyon life. As my dad told it, Mr. Pickett was always going on about getting a manta queen for the last display. He left the Vale years ago.
He came to Stellar Bay years ago, just before the board cut us off. Ended up stuck here. He was always real interested in our monsters. Manta queens, especially. Sure, they're real big. Hard to miss them. Well, I could send you to the same place I sent Mr. Pickett. But I haven't seen him in a few weeks. To tell true, I'm starting to get a bit worried about him.
Captain, can we look for him? I'd feel awful if somebody from home was in trouble and we didn't do nothing.
Tell you what, I'll tell you where I sent Mr. Pickett if you promise to look for him. Help him out if he's got himself in trouble. Fair deal?
Thanks, Captain.
All right then. Leave town through the southern gate, the one right here, and head past the abandoned ruins. Last Mana Queen I saw was in the wilds out that-a-ways. Could be Mr. Pickett still out there, too. Oh, good. Celia hasn't come by in a few days, so I haven't sold much.
Так. А, это типа за город выход. Ну здесь побольше будет.
Please, will someone help me? My boy's in trouble.
Чего началось?
Oh, thank you for stopping. Everyone acts like nothing's wrong, like my little boy isn't at risk of being eaten by some vile creature. Please, you have to help me get my little Tucker back. He ran away and is going to get himself killed. Oh, I just know a raptidon is melting him with acid as we speak. Don't you tell me to calm down. I promised my boy I'd protect him for always. But how can I keep him safe if he's run away? He ran out into the wilderness a few days ago. I warned him about the raptidons, mantisaurs, and marauders, the toxic sulfur pools, and poisonous glands, but he didn't listen.
Oh, law, Captain. A youngster won't last long in a place like this. Please, can't we help?
Please, won't you go and find my boy? Well, I guess I can't ask you to leave the town walls for free. It is deathly dangerous out there. I've got some bits saved up for a rainy day. I'll give you every last one if you just bring my Tucker back to me. I won't even be mad at him running off. You tell him I won't be mad.
Ой, блядь.
He's been pining for an adventure. Says he's tired of living cooped up behind the walls. But he doesn't understand how dangerous it is out there. I warned him. A raptidon would snap him up first chance it got. I just know one's ripped his arm off and is gnawing on his sweet little fingers. He should have listened to his mama. I promised I'd keep him safe here with me. He's been listening to those awful broadcasts that the iconoclasts put out. I begged Sanjar to put a stop to them, but did he? No! And now I just know my boy's run off to Amber Heights. That is, if a manta queen hasn't spooled out and eaten his entrails for breakfast already. That old settlement, southwest of Stellar Bay. I don't know which is worse, the thought of my son shacking up with the nutty iconoclasts, or that he never made it. Sprats could be nesting in his rotting body alongside the road as we speak. Or maybe marauders got him, pulled all his teeth out, crushed him into their drugs and made him snort them.
Кстати, богатое воображение
What
вообще.
happened to my sweet baby? Those low-life degenerates, leading innocent boys into a life of danger. Oh, they make it sound so exciting. Like it's noble to risk it all out there, fighting for the greater good. How noble is it to worry your loved ones? Not at all, I say. But still they preach their sermons of anarchy and rebellion to anyone who'll listen. If they weren't holed up in Amber Heights, I'd knock them all upside the head. Thank you. Oh, I know he'll be safe now that someone's able to fetch him home. You look for him in Amber Heights, you hear? It's down the road southwest of town. I'm sure he made it that far. I just know it. And if you find any of them iconoclasts indoctrinating my boy, you punch them in the mouths. Tell them what I think of them luring little boys away from their mamas. It's immoral.
Эти товарищи меня спалят, если я буду здесь воровать. То есть не стоит этим заниматься. Эть, не пройдет. Так, значит, это... Так. Выход из города. Угу.
Well, well. The only new folk I ever see in town are sublight runners from Fallbrook. But you don't look like one of Catherine's. What can I get you? All sales are final, unless you threaten me. I'm kidding. Don't threaten me.
Так то же самое. Только цвет другой. А, ну, потому что броня то же самое. Ну да.
Got any news from the rest of Halcyon?
Could I get another advance, Mr. Nandi?
Just make sure it's properly logged.
I'll note it next to the others, sir. Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, producers and purveyors of the finest salt tuna in Halcyon. What can I do for you today?
Момент.
You know, sending you is the first bright idea I've seen from that man, because I told him to stop bothering me about it a week ago. I still don't know anything about it, but if you want to help him, Velma's the one to ask. She's in the warehouse. But I'll warn you, Grim wore her patience thin a long time ago.
Or is he not paying you on account of how he tried to fix the thing his own self and busted it even worse, and then said you wasn't fixing it fast enough, so he's docking your wages again? Not that I got any prior experience with such.
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid.
Господи, зачем он тебе?
Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or a mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really. So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else.
I reckon she's got a little bit of a squish on this fella.
Любовь.
He's sort of the strong, silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff. And some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell. I couldn't. What if he says no? Hey, maybe you could ask him for me. I mean, a no would still be bad, but it won't be quite as embarrassing if you ask. Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly. I'd better get back to work. He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea about. Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises. You think that's what I'm looking for? You're funny. Not in Stellar Bay. Everyone else who isn't taken either smells like Saltuna or they're my boss. Besides, a man with a good smile and a proportionate upper to lower body ratio isn't something to pass up. Sorry, sometimes I get carried away.
Ну, ты чего скажешь?
Well, new business turns up at last. Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me. Did you hear that power play, Celia? They don't make them like this anymore in Halcyon. I only hope you don't judge me by my handshake. Now, what business brings you here? Hiram? Why, he's probably still out at Devil's Peak. Not that he's had the courtesy to notify me, at any rate. But if you're here for him, I suppose that means you aren't here for Saltuna. Yes, that's it. Channel your anger. I only wish I could do the same.
Seems like you're having a rough time, Mr. Sanjar. Are you doing quite all right?
Oh, don't worry on my account. This is merely the latest in a long line of professional erotic and athletic disappointments. Now, I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board. Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now. Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious.
You talk like Graham.
Freedom always sounds nice, doesn't it? It makes a rather pretty slogan. But if you sit down and tally up the costs, how you provide for yourself in the absence of aid, how you protect yourself from a hostile galaxy, it starts to lose its shine.
Exactly. Intellectualism fuels the train to mankind's future, but the tracks the train runs on are forged from practicality.
Mr. Vicar, I don't want to be rude, but I don't think that means anything.
Yes, it's as though the good vicar has plucked the very words from my brain.
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
Returning to the board is your only chance if you hope to survive here on Monarch. That doesn't mean it'll be easily achievable.
Indeed not. No worthwhile plan was ever simple. That's what I always say.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended. Not long, but the devil is always in the details. And the salient detail here is a Bolt 52 cartridge. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance. I'll need to gather some supplemental materials, but I mustn't get ahead of myself.
You do tend to do that.
The Bolt 52 will be in the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in. And these days, it's overrun with marauders and raptidons. Do be careful. I've lost more than a few people to marauders and raptidons out there. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. What can I do for you? I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff? Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his review. What else can I do for you? Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes. I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws. Not intentionally, though that's technically true. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. But back then, it was known as Terra 1. Really? I always thought they were refreshingly straightforward names. After all, the whole point of terraforming was to make them Earth-like.
Here, though, the results were mixed.
And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out. Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to.
And how did that work out?
Most regard Monarch as a lost cause. But there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up. It's humane, but it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers. Even a cursory review of the data bears that out.
I hope you'd treat them nice, whether it was good business or not, Mr. Sanjar. That's what being a community means. Treating people right, because it's the right thing to do.
Ms. Holcomb is our endlessly optimistic crew hand. It's good for the captain's morale.
A noble thought, Miss Holcomb. Unfortunately, noble thoughts rarely sway board policy. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms. Oh, well, there were surely other junior executives with more open minds, though none of them had the temperament to handle the paperwork. But I was keeping my tone flat and maintaining eye contact. You weren't supposed to notice I was avoiding the subject.
This is why you've never been good with presentations, sir.
Very well. Many, many years ago, Graham Bryant and I used to be collaborators, of sorts. Graham Bryant. He leads a group of extremists out in Amber Heights. But he used to be as much a part of the corporate machinery as any of us. Much as he likes to forget it. Indeed, for all the good it did. MSI's then leadership wasn't enthusiastic. They insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2, along with everyone else. Many of us chose to stay behind. And as the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI. I moved forward with our planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages. I don't know. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws. I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently. Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon.
Without the board, chaos would overtake the system. Working within the established order isn't a principle to snub one's nose at, Captain.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation. I fear the MSI citizens who've been dissolved into Raptidon Cud would disagree with you. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, then that's the path I mean to pursue. Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship. I've discovered it's much easier to negotiate from a position of power. And I don't mean to leave MSI or its people at a disadvantage. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations. As far as I'm concerned, the less said about Graham, the better. Graham seemed like a reasonable man years ago. We both agreed that MSI's treatment of its workers was untenable. I thought reforms would be enough. I didn't realize you wanted to abolish the corporate system entirely. It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous.
But wait, what happens to the folks stuck on the wrong side of dangerous?
Well, I'm afraid the welfare of a few hundred people is too minor a figure into the board's risk assessments. Monarch may be dangerous, but it's hardly the wasteland the board describes it to be. Whatever the board's goals, the greater good has little part in them. What can I do for you?
Так, сейчас зафиксирую.
So what's the plan?
Here to do business with Sanjar? Here to do business with Sanjar?
MSI keeps the fishery running and the walls intact.
Ой.
You look like a woman who's looking for some mostly fresh animal parts. Yeah, you find him yet? I sent him past the ruins just south of town. He was hunting for a mantiqueen out there. Huh. I haven't seen her in a few days, but I've been meaning to ask her how that Raptidon acid is working out. I hope it's working okay, because no one else really seems interested in this stuff. Nice of you to say. I like her too. Wait, I see what's going on. She put you up to this so she could get a discount, hmm?
No.
Oh, no, that's not it at all. She's smitten with you. You smited her. Smoked? Smoot?
Don't get me wrong. I'd like to give her a discount. She's a real fine lady. Always talks nice and slow, so I understand. But if I give her one, I won't hardly make a bit, on account of no one else having any use for Raptidon tongues. You sound pretty sure. And she is awful nice.
Give her a chance. Give yourself a chance. Take her someplace nice.
Okay, I'll do it. Once her shift ends, we'll go someplace nice. Maybe to Chef Raymond's.
That's the spirit, Sebastian. Be yourself. Between you and me, Captain, I'm not sure Miss Celia knows him too well. But we can hope, right? I want them to be happy.
Так, чё, надо к ней вернуться?
Have you talked to Sebastian yet? What did he say? Okay, but how did he say it? Did he sound excited? Or like he was just agreeing to it? Was he like, yay, a date with Celia. I've secretly been waiting for this. Or was it more, sure, I don't have anything else going on. Not to worry. If I never buy another Raptidon tongue, it'll be too soon. Ah, look at me going on. I'm sure you've got other things to do, and Mr. Nandi's giving me that back-to-work look. Anyhow, thank you.
А, блять, не хватил монет. Ну ладно. Эть, стырили тихушку. Что началось?
I think I'm gonna be sick. I clean the apartments while everyone's at work. I've seen all sorts of messes, but this... If you're going into the apartments, do not go into the lower one on the right. That's where the body is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go contemplate a hot shower. The body's in the first apartment on the right. So much blood.
Вот так. Пустые керманцы. Теперь. А, слизь всякая. Господи, ладно. Откуда прикандывали такие? Прибежали.
Oh, sorry. Just spooked me, was all.
What a gruesome way to die.
Выбрать. Ну, здесь, походу, была драка. Микеры. Видимо, тут кто-то насолил.
You'll never hear the end of it.
You know, I haven't seen him in a while.
If you'd gotten stuck in an hour-long rant about mostly colonists, you'd be thankful. Trying to get us all in trouble? What do you think you're doing? Carry on.
Блять. Ничего нет. Кто ж ходит с пустыми карманцами?
You startled me. Don't sneak up on a person like that, huh?
Watch your step if you venture outside the walls.
Но пока что я туда не выхожу. Но спасибо за напоминание.
Good day to you. Good day to you.
Whoa, by the stars, my poor heart. I just about pissed my jumpsuit. Easy for you to say. You can hop into your spaceship and leave any time. This town is enough to try anyone's nerves. Only every day. But in case you haven't noticed, we don't exactly get ships on a regular basis, yours notwithstanding. And even if I did scrape together enough to buy passage out with sublight, which would mean reaching Fallbrook without getting eaten, shot, or dissolved into green goop, what then? Well, thank you for reminding me. As if I weren't already destined for an early grave. That was a real popular meal 10, 20 years back, before the board tucked tail and ran. These days, everybody's had a belly full of salt tuna. They all want borscht. And the mushrooms, well, not many venture out of town, what with the monsters hereabouts. I can whip one up for you, but it'll cost. Here's a menu.
Oh, yikes. I can't cover this much, Captain.
Тихо, я ебнулся.
What? No, Captain, I don't want you to do it this way.
It's all right, miss. I'm a coward at heart. Made that clear from the outset. Look, Captain, this is the best I can do without putting myself out of business.
No.
I'm mighty
Все равно
glad you
долго.
reckon so. This is gonna take about an hour in the oven. Nothing I can do to speed it. That's just how cooking works. There we are. Now, if you don't mind, I really need to take a leak.
My belly's gurgling just to smell it, Mr. Raymond. Thank you so much.
A pleasure to help such a charming young lady. You're a gentle soul, miss. Be careful with this one, all right? She's kind of a brute.
Oh, gosh, my tongue's rumbling just smelling that casserole. Something you need? Not a peep from me.
Ну-ка. А давай мне мои 2000. А лучше все 5. Он их уже пропил. Да, ничего нету. Так. Китунец. Фига себе. Холодильник под замком, это мощно.
Hey, I saw that.
What
do you think you're doing?
Я думал, ты не видишь.
As you were.
Видишь, чё, какой глазастенькой. Господи, зачем в туалете энергетические ячейки? Так. Да я откуда пришел-то? Вот оттуда. Угу. А, это другая дверь, выход. А то у меня какой-то дежавю. Надеюсь, никто не видит.
What do you think you're doing? All right, don't let me catch you here again.
Я так прикалываю вообще. На глазах у них что-нибудь там сделаешь. Нелицеприятное. Потом. Что ты тут делаешь? Я ничего не сделаю. Окей. Все. Вас понял. Ничего не делаем, значит ничего не делаем. Проходите. Так. Погодите, погодите. Я что-то пропустил?
We don't get many outsiders. You don't look like Sublight. Must be freelance.
Good day to you.
Так, ну-ка. Блять, чуть не перелетел. А, это бабосики этого чувака забрал просто, да? Ладненько. Опа. Так, так это не окошки. Я думал, это окна. Адская коса. Звучит-то как мощненько. Эй, что высоко. И к чему это все? Тут залезть я не могу. И зачем это все тогда было? А, тут потому что все перегружено. Ладно. У меня все равно отвечает. И это все только ради плазменного карабина, но ее... Такой себе. Я же никого, нет? И к чему было это помещение? Не. Сейчас пиздим. Да, не рассказывай.
Ooh, you're the new face. Wow, you must be up on all the latest tossball games. So who do you follow? Wait, don't tell me. You look like a Hammersmith Thunder fan. No, Glacial Age Mammoths. Everyone needs a good diversion. That's what keeps you from thinking about the marauders outside town. The Raptidons chewing at the walls. Tossball's just about the only good news we get around here. When our frequency's not too clogged up anyway. So, what can I do for you? Graham's always filling the airwaves with his propaganda. Like it's done him any good. All it means is the tossball games get to us in fragments. Makes them real hard to watch. Poor Isaac. I was wondering why I hadn't seen him in a few days. I'd really like to help,
Isaac was a sweet fellow, even if he did have terrible teeth. They were pretty distinct. Monarch doesn't exactly have a thriving dental industry, and Isaac seemed to get stuck in all sorts of bad habits, dietary and otherwise. Sometimes he'd drink purpleberry punch by the liter, other times he'd keep betting on a losing team, started owing the wrong people money. I don't know for sure, but I saw Elijah and his buddies pushing Isaac around. They're hooligans from Fallbrook. They sweep into town, drop supplies off behind the warehouse, and spend the rest of their stay getting rowdy over tossball games. They usually loiter in the alley behind the yacht club. They're not allowed in the bar anymore. I bet you anything Isaac ran into trouble with one of them. Mr. Sanjar will be pleased to hear about it when you're done. I know he gets fed up with the Fallbrook bullies, but there's not much he can do.
Ну, ладненько. Гуглять. Что за лестница? Лестница?
If Velma's capable of running the warehouse, she can certainly pick up her own caffeinoid.
Don't be so hard on her. With Brack's missing, she's working doubles and needs a little edge.
Very well, dearie. But you stop by anytime you like. Hmm?
Thanks, I'll keep that in mind.
Стой!
Sorry,
Стой!
I gotta get back to the warehouse.
Hello, dearie. Why, I don't believe
Блять,
I've
это ж
seen you
мало шо.
before. And with sweet cheeks like those, I'd remember. What can Auntie Abigail do for you? She works over at the fishery next door. Quite the hard worker, but she's got a bit of a temper. Why, just the other day, I heard her shouting from here. I can't imagine what set her off. Oh, but here I go again, running my mouth when it's none of my business. Was there something else you needed? Yes, indeed. Someone's got to keep Stellar Bay's people healthy and energized. Oh, but I am. I get to see plenty of my neighbors here, and I do dearly love a little gossip. Now that can't be. Ms. Ramnareem Wentworth has already exceeded the month's... Oh. Dear me. She does have another dose in her allotment. How did I miss this? My, but you are a doll. Here's Neoka's caffeinoid, and if I know her, she's probably ready for it by now. Do take care of yourself, dearie.
Так, а ну-ка, держи карман шире.
Velma seem out of sorts.
What do you think you're doing?
Ой-ой,
Don't make any trouble for me, okay?
я забыл, что я на улице. Сорян, мужичок. Это на улицу, да? Угу. Теперь ресепшн.
You're probably looking for Velma. Watch out. She's in a mood.
Вот так. Из ноги прям тебя вытащим сейчас все. Скука. Ничего нет у него. Так, где? А, понял. Ух ты. Много всего. И огнемет. Галим. No, рассказывай.
Look, you can tell Catherine the new shipment will be ready when it's ready, all right? She's welcome to come up here and pack boxes herself if she's in such a hurry.
Что тут, кого тут?
Did she now? Well, I can see I was mistaken. Because if Catherine really had sent you, there'd be a lot more expletives in your message. I hope you can forgive my temper. This job has been running me ragged lately. First, my autoloader foreman stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatological health manager is missing. Braxton. He's in charge of getting the fish fat, but also making sure they don't get too many tumors. He's a real wizard with pharmaceuticals, but he has creative notions of working hours. Comes with living in a free colony, I guess. We're not keen on rules for rules' sake around here. Means Braxton skips work sometimes, but it also means no company boss is telling me when I can take a shit. Since you don't seem to be constrained yourself, maybe you could check up on him. He lives in the apartments. Tell him Velma said to get his lazy ass down here, or she might start noticing those extra jugs he's been taking from supply. Something else on your mind? This again? I swear, this is the last time I contract for any special requests. You can tell Grimm his poster came in. You can also tell him I got a better offer for it. So now it's going to Nell. That about cover it?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
No. I paid Sublight for it. So it's mine. And when Nell pays me for it, it'll be hers. Grimm may have asked for the poster, but it's not his until I take his money. She runs the betting parlor across the way. Nice professional lady. She asked me about the poster once. Just once. Made a real generous offer, too. Damn right it is. It's staying locked up in my office until Nell shows with her money. Sure can. If you want to pay me more than Nell's offering. Sure. And once you finish helping me, then we can talk about the poster. Fine by me. Unless you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again, I've got nothing to say.
Это бухает на балконе.
Hard workers? They turn dials and flip switches. The machines do all the actual work.
I'll wager she don't pay those folks that maintain the mechanicals decent neither.
Caleb and his crew have it better than anyone else around here, I'll tell you that much. I don't have the bits for it, plain and simple. Besides, if I make an exception for him, I gotta do the same for everyone.
She's principled, in at least this area. I will begrudgingly give her that.
Ну да.
Thank you. I think. If Caleb wants to keep this job, he'd better get back to it. I'm about ready to hire sublight contractors at this rate. Same thing as me. Where's your proof? Because I know no one's been poking around my terminal lately.
Are you absolutely sure of that, Ms. Ballard?
Just as a hypothetical. Nothing to see on my terminal, of course. Because I've done nothing wrong. Maybe so. But I bet you Caleb runs out of bits first. Then he'll have to come back. He says he's got a stash to tide his crew over. Could be his own talk. But if the money's real, I bet you he keeps it at home. Near the diner.
You'd steal from your own people? That's low, ma'am.
That's business. Someone's got to keep the lights on. For running me ragged while he takes an extended leave at the bar? Not on your life. Fine by me. Stealing's such a nasty word. Let's call it skimming. And yeah, let's just say I've noticed the sterile biotics we use for the fish would get used a little faster on Braxton's shifts. We're not like those corporate towns where you get fined for sleeping on the wrong side of the bed. Besides, the Spacer's Choice stuff we use is cheap enough. And Braxton knows how to get this all tuna, fat, and mostly tumor-free. Sublight boss out of Fallbrook. Handles most goods that come in or out of Stellar Bay. Has a mouth like a Ground 6 Spacer.
Hey, Velma, I got your caffeinoid pills.
You're a lifesaver. Hope Abigail didn't give you a hard time.
Just the usual. Any word on Braxton?
Nothing. Don't know how much longer I can cover for him either. Give me those pills, will you?
Here you go. You know, you might consider a real night's sleep instead.
Так, надо попасть в еёшный кабинет. А, вот. В еёшный кабинет. Еще бы только узнать, где он. А вот и он.
Impressive as always.
Угу. Ого. И зачем я сюда? Хренька.
I'd give you a friendlier welcome, but I'm up to my elbows in salt tuna guts.
Gosh, this old girl's in a rough way. Even old Bess in Edgewater was in better shape than this.
Hey, you want to try running a cannery with obsolete machinery? You be my guest.
Sorry, ma'am. I wasn't trying to be rude. It's just your flanging apparatus isn't making a strong flange, so your sealer isn't sealing right, and...
Oh, I see what you're saying. Huh. I'll have to try that. Anyway, what do you folks need? Unless you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again, I've got nothing to say. If Caleb wants to keep this job, he'd better get back to it. I'm about ready to hire sublight contractors at this rate. Yeah, and did you miss the part where I'm working doubles to cover for everyone who decides not to show?
Ironic, isn't it?
I'm the one who keeps this place running. That money's mine, one way or another. Fine. Tell Caleb he and his team can have their raise, but I need them back here immediately. Something else on your mind?
Lucky.
Smells like rat in here. Oh, it does work. I bought some musk from Savannah to cover up the salt. Trust me, this will work.
Вот ёшкин.
Look, I don't... Oh, sorry. For a second, I thought you were Grim.
Так, это я, получается, вышел. Ладно, на всем буду заканчивать, наверное.